Welcome to our channel. Today we're diving into a crucial topic that can save you a whole lot of heartache. The signs you're dating a narcissist. Look, we all have a little narcissism in us. It's part of being human, but when it starts to look like a full-blown personality disorder, you need to pay attention. We're talking about a pattern of behavior that's so ingrained, it affects every aspect of their lives and relationships. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to break down the top 5 signs you need to watch out for. We're going to talk about what it really looks like when someone is truly narcissistic, not just a little self-centered. Because let me tell you something, being in a relationship with a narcissist can be downright toxic. So, if you're ready to get real about relationships and learn how to spot these red flags, buckle up. Because the information you're about to get could change your life. Now, you know how it goes in a healthy relationship, right? You talk, I listen, I talk, you listen. It's a two-way street. But with a narcissist, that street's a dead end. They dominate every conversation, turning every topic back to themselves. You could be talking about your promotion at work, something you've been working towards for months, and somehow they'll find a way to make it about them. They might interrupt you mid-sentence to tell their own work story, one-up you, or completely change the subject to something they want to talk about. And don't even think about trying to get a word in edgewise. They'll talk over you, dismiss your feelings, and make you feel like you're just an audience member in their own personal talk show. This constant need for attention isn't just annoying, it's a sign of a deeper issue. They lack the ability to truly listen and empathize with others. It's all about feeding their own ego, and they don't care who they have to steamroll to do it. So, if you're constantly feeling invisible and unheard in your own relationship, that's a big red flag. It's time to ask yourself, is this really the kind of partner I want to be with? Empathy, folks, it's the glue that holds relationships together. It's the ability to step into someone else's shoes and understand their feelings. But narcissists, they're fresh out of empathy. You could be going through a tough time. Maybe you lost your job, a loved one is sick, or you're just having a bad day. A narcissist will find a way to make it about them. They'll minimize your feelings, offer unsolicited advice that's really just thinly veiled criticism, or tell you to buck up and get over it. They simply can't comprehend what it's like to be in your shoes because they're too busy being completely self-absorbed. They lack the emotional intelligence to recognize and validate your feelings, and frankly, they don't care to learn. This lack of empathy can be incredibly damaging to a relationship. It creates a dynamic where one person's needs and feelings are constantly being ignored and invalidated. So if you're with someone who consistently dismisses your emotions and makes you feel like you're overreacting or being too sensitive, pay attention. That's a major red flag that you're dealing with a narcissist. Everyone enjoys a compliment now and then, right? It feels good to be appreciated and admired. But narcissists crave admiration like oxygen. They need a constant supply of praise and validation to fuel their fragile egos. They might fish for compliments constantly, bragging about their accomplishments, real or imagined, or subtly putting others down to make themselves look better. They might surround themselves with yes people who constantly stroke their ego and tell them what they want to hear, even if it's not true. And if they don't get the attention they crave, watch out. They might become sullen, withdrawn, or even lash out with anger and resentment. They have a fragile sense of self-worth that hinges entirely on external validation. This constant need for praise is exhausting for everyone around them. It creates a dynamic where the narcissist's needs always come first, and everyone else is left feeling emotionally drained. So if you're constantly feeling pressured to boost your partner's ego and you're starting to feel like you're losing yourself in the process, it's time to reevaluate the relationship. Now let's talk about gaslighting. This is a serious form of emotional abuse that narcissists often use to maintain control in relationships. Gaslighting is all about distorting your reality and making you doubt your own sanity. They might deny your memories of events, insist that you're imagining things, or twist situations to make you look like the bad guy. They'll tell you that you're too sensitive, crazy, or making a big deal out of nothing. The goal of gaslighting is to make you question your own judgment and rely solely on their version of events. Over time, this can erode your self-esteem and make you feel trapped in the relationship. Here's the thing, gaslighting is insidious. It can creep up on you slowly, making it hard to recognize at first. So if you find yourself constantly questioning your own memories, feelings, and sanity, it's crucial to reach out for help. Talk to a trusted friend, family member, or therapist who can offer you an outside perspective and support. Narcissists have this unwavering belief that they're special, unique, and above the rules that apply to everyone else. They expect special treatment, preferential treatment, the royal treatment, you name it, they want it. This sense of entitlement can manifest in various ways. They might cut lines, break traffic laws, or disregard social norms without a second thought. They might expect you to cater to their every whim, no matter how inconvenient or unreasonable. And when their sense of entitlement is challenged, prepare for fireworks. They can become enraged, indignant, and downright nasty. They simply cannot fathom why they shouldn't get what they want, when they want it. This sense of entitlement can be incredibly frustrating and hurtful to deal with, especially in a romantic relationship. It creates an imbalance of power and can leave you feeling resentful and unappreciated. So, if you're constantly feeling like you're walking on eggshells around your partner and their needs always seem to come before yours, it's a sign that their sense of entitlement is running the show. Listen, relationships are supposed to be about mutual support and respect, but narcissists see people as objects to be used for their own personal gain. They're master manipulators who are skilled at charming, flattering, and exploiting others to get what they want. They might befriend you to gain access to your social circle, use your talents and skills for their own benefit, or drain your finances without a second thought. They have no qualms about taking advantage of your kindness, generosity, or love. And once they've gotten what they need from you, they'll discard you without a second thought, leaving you feeling used, betrayed, and emotionally drained. This pattern of exploitation can be incredibly damaging to your self-esteem and your ability to trust others. It's important to remember that you deserve to be in relationships where you're valued for who you are, not for what you can offer. So if you find yourself constantly being asked for favors, being taken advantage of, or feeling like you're being used, it's time to step back and reevaluate the relationship. Chapter 7. Green with envy, the success haters. Narcissists are incredibly envious people. They're threatened by the success, happiness, and accomplishments of others. Instead of celebrating your wins, they'll find ways to minimize them, sabotage your efforts, or make you feel bad about your achievements. They might make backhanded compliments, downplay your accomplishments, or compare themselves to you constantly. They might even try to compete with you, even in areas where they have no business competing. This envy stems from their own deep-seated insecurities and their need to be the center of attention. They can't handle the thought of anyone else outshining them, so they'll do whatever it takes to bring you down to their level. Being in a relationship with someone who's constantly envious of you is incredibly toxic. It creates an environment of negativity, competition, and resentment. So if you find that your partner is never genuinely happy for your successes and is always trying to one-up you, it's a sign that their envy is poisoning the relationship. The narcissists have an inflated sense of their own importance. They genuinely believe they're superior to others, smarter, more talented, more attractive, you name it. This arrogance can be incredibly off-putting and difficult to deal with. They might brag incessantly about their accomplishments, whether real or imagined, name-drop constantly, or talk down to others as if they're inferior. They have a hard time admitting when they're wrong, apologizing sincerely, or accepting criticism gracefully. This arrogance is simply a mask for their own deep-seated insecurities. They need constant validation and admiration to prop up their fragile egos. Being in a relationship with someone who's constantly putting you down and making you feel inferior is incredibly damaging to your self-esteem. So if you find yourself constantly being belittled, demeaned, or made to feel small in your relationship, it's a sign that their arrogance is creating a toxic environment. Despite their outward appearance of confidence and self-assurance, narcissists are incredibly insecure individuals. Their egos are fragile, easily bruised, and constantly in need of protection. They can't handle criticism, even if it's constructive and well-intentioned. They take any slight as a personal attack and will often lash out with anger, defensiveness, or even aggression. This fragility stems from their deep-seated fear of not being good enough. They need constant validation and admiration to maintain their sense of self-worth. Being in a relationship with someone who's constantly on edge and ready to explode at any moment can be incredibly draining and stressful. So, if you find yourself walking on eggshells around your partner, afraid to express your true thoughts and feelings for fear of their reaction, it's a sign that their fragile ego is controlling the relationship. Narcissists have an incredibly difficult time handling criticism. They see any form of critique, no matter how constructive or well-intentioned, as a personal attack on their character. They simply can't handle the thought of not being perfect. So, how do they deal with criticism? They deflect, deny, and attack. They might deflect the criticism by turning it back on you, pointing out your flaws and shortcomings. They might deny the validity of the criticism, claiming that you're wrong, misinformed, or just trying to hurt them. Or they might attack you personally, becoming verbally abusive, threatening, or even physically violent. This inability to handle criticism stems from their fragile egos and their deep-seated fear of not being good enough. They need to maintain a perfect image of themselves at all times, and any crack in that facade is a threat to their sense of self-worth. Being in a relationship with someone who can't handle criticism is like walking on eggshells. You're constantly afraid to express your true thoughts and feelings for fear of triggering their anger and defensiveness. So, if you find yourself biting your tongue, censoring yourself, and constantly apologizing for your opinions, it's a sign that your partner's inability to handle criticism is creating a toxic dynamic in the relationship. Listen, recognizing these signs in your partner doesn't mean they're a bad person. It just means they might have some deeply ingrained patterns of behavior that are causing problems in your relationship and in their own lives. But here's the hard truth. You can't change someone who doesn't want to change. You can't love someone enough to make them get help. The only person you can control is you. So if you recognize these signs in your partner, it's time to start putting yourself first. It's time to set boundaries, prioritize your own needs, and seek support from trusted friends, family, or a therapist. You deserve to be in a relationship where you feel loved, respected, and valued for who you are. Remember, you are not alone. Millions of people have experienced the pain and frustration of being in a relationship with a narcissist. There is hope, there is healing, and there is a way out. Don't be afraid to reach out for help and start creating a healthier, happier life for yourself. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful content. See you next time.